Hi, this is Ryan Dotson with survivalsullivan.com. Today we're going to be talking about something called a Dakota fire pit. And this was actually invented by the Dakota Indians. It's designed to build a fire inside of it to conceal the flames and the smoke of the fire. And this was used when they were trying to scout out opposing tribes without being noticed, or when somebody was on the run and didn't want anybody to be able to see their flames or their smoke from their fire. So there are a lot of different uses for this. It's also great at blocking wind if you have high winds, and it also allows you to build a grate over top of the hole that you're digging so that you can easily cook food on top of it if you need to. So the first thing I want to do is just draw you a diagram of how this works, and then we'll actually go out and dig one and show you exactly what the structure looks like. So if you can see my diagram here, what you want to look for is a tree that has a wide canopy. And you want to dig your Dakota fire pit underneath that tree. The reason why is because as the smoke comes up from the fire, it'll filter through the foliage on the tree, and that'll disperse it so that it's not nearly as obvious against the sky. So that helps out a lot. Now, what you're going to do is dig two pits side by side, and I'm going to suggest that they be about a foot to a foot and a half in diameter, and about a foot to a foot and a half deep. Okay, you're going to build your fire in one pit, and then you're going to put a little tunnel right there at the bottom so that air can come in through this pit, can feed to your fire, which keeps the flames going, and then your smoke will filter up into the tree from that other hole. So you're going to want to make sure that you keep this center section of soil thick enough and strong enough that it's not going to collapse whenever you dig this little trench or the little tunnel in at the bottom, so that you're feeding air through to the fire. Without that hole, it's absolutely impossible to keep the fire going when it's down in a pit like that. Now this of course protects from the wind, like I said, and then you can also build a little grate right there at the top using green wood or metal or whatever you have available to cook food on it. So that's just the basic principle behind it. Now we're going to go out to one of the trees on our property and actually show you how to dig one. Okay, we're out here, me and my son Andrew. Say hi, Andrew.
Hi!
And we're going to get started digging. I've already lined out the holes so that we already have an idea of where we're going to want them. We got underneath this big apple tree over here, so we have some canopy to work with. I'm going to be using my tactical shovel here. One of the best parts about it is that as you put this thing together, you will notice that it has a very sturdy long handle, and most tactical shovels have very short handles. Andrew, you ready to do some digging?
Yeah.
Okay, so can you handle that shovel?
Yep.
You sure?
But this one's too big.
I think it's perfect for you. It's about as tall as you. So you work on the little hole, I'll work on the big one.
Okay, let's do it again.
And we'll get some digging done here. And once we're got all this lined out, then I'll bring you guys back and we'll show you what the finished product looks like. All right, we got everything dug out, so I want to show you our finished product. Ready to go ahead and put wood in there and build a fire. So if you look over here, you can see our two holes that have been dug, one slightly larger than the other with a space in between. And if you go all the way down, you can see the tunnel in between so air can get through. That's a finished Dakota fire pit. Should work great. We need to light it up at this point, so. Okay, now I want you to take a look over here underneath this tree. You might be able to see a few wisps of smoke coming up, but if you look above the tree, you're not seeing any smoke because the tree is dissipating any of the smoke that's coming out. And this is our Dakota fire pit in action. If we come over closer, you notice you don't see any flames until you get much closer. So anybody from a distance is not going to be able to tell that there's a fire here. And then as we zoom in, you've got your fire pit on the left and your oxygen hole on the right. The fire is drawing in oxygen underneath here, but the flames are staying low enough that from a distance it's impossible to see. Now, if we wanted to cook on this, I could put green branches across the top of that fire pit and make a grill out of it and cook fish or whatever we wanted to cook on there. So that's just an example of how a Dakota fire pit can be perfect if you're trying to light a fire but also stay hidden at night from anybody that's pursuing you.